Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, FA Well Centers. Diverticulitis is something that we see so often with patients. And it could be diverticulitis, it could be Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, but digestive issues are rampant. So welcome. I am the founder and CEO of F8 Well Centers. We have offices in Colorado, Tennessee, and we work with patients all over the world. And the gut is something that we work with every single day. This is a massive part of the problem. When we start looking at people's health, you really have to start in the digestive tract. You have to start with that gut. You've got to start by thinking, okay, what is truly causing this underlying autoimmune reaction, this Hashimoto's, this brain issue, this inflammation issue? And the gut, 99% of the time, is a major factor. Even to this extent, I see just as many teens and 20-something-year-olds in practice as I do 50 and 60-year-olds, to the point where if I see somebody 16, 18, 22 years old come in, the first thing I have, even before looking at their paperwork, is they have some type of a gut issue. So this is a massive thing. Even for younger people, we see this all the time. Diverticulitis is going to be a major symptom and diagnosis that we see with people, where the large intestine is irritated and it's getting gurgly and having diarrhea. We see some people 20, 30 times per day they're having diarrhea bowel movements. It's that intense. We see some people, they're throwing up every day. Gastroparesis. Good morning out there in Oregon. Great to see you. And so we'll see gastroparesis, where people are throwing up, literally throwing up every single day. We see people that just have gut pain. I've had patients explain it's like towels moving through their digestive tract. They feel inflamed. They're having blood coming out of their stool, all types of different things. But here's the thing. You've got to get to the underlying why. You've got to get to the cause. There's no amount of scopes or scans or whatever that are going to fix this or even show you exactly what's going on. Even you go down and you do a scope up top, you do a scope up the bottom, and you find in the middle and you go, okay, well, what, it looks irritated. There's raw, there's irritation, there's bleeding, whatever, but you don't fix the why off of that. You go, okay, well, yeah, it's irritated. I could have told you that even without putting you under and scoping you. So then you have to start with, okay, let's start north to south. So first thing we have to look at is what is going on with the brain. And the brain, you're like, what does the brain have to do with digestion? But think about this. If the brain is too revved up, you can do one of two things. You can fight or flight, or you can rest and digest. Hey, Marla, good to see you. Does the blood work determine the complete healing of issues from the Galliard method? So, Marla, yeah, that is a huge part of where we start. And so, how do we figure all of this stuff out? That north to south, in that blood work, we're able to see, is somebody making enough stomach acid? Are they making enough enzymes? Are they absorbing like they need to? Are there signs of leaky gut? Is the liver off? All of those things. So, in that blood work, we also look at all the hormones, male and female hormones. We look at adrenal hormones. We look at thyroid hormones. We look at ANA, rheumatoid factor, and the Hashimoto's antibodies. So we look for a lot of autoimmune. We look for inflammatory markers, all types of different things. And so that is the biggest piece that we do besides the questionnaire, which is, hey, Candace in South Africa, the questionnaire, which is take you probably an hour and a half to get through. It's lots of information. We match all those things up and we come up with a game plan. So again, we start with the brain. Brain is going to be, if you're in this fight or flight process, there is no way you're going to be digesting like you need to. You can do one or the other, but you cannot digest and fight or flight at the same time. So think about this. Remember when you were a kid and you went to the picnic and you were going to go swimming in the lake afterwards or whatever, and they said, you got to wait a half hour after eating because all the food is in your digestive tract, not in your muscles, and you could actually start cramping because you are not going to get the blood flow to your muscles like you need to. So Um, it truly happens even in the other direction as well. If you're in a fight or flight, your blood's out in the muscles and it's not in your digestive tract. So you could have diverticulitis, Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, gastroparesis, all of these things because you're in a chronic fight or flight. So we start there. Then we've got chew. You've got to chew at least 30 times per bite. If you're doing this, like my boys, I'm trying to train them not to, but if you do this bite, chew, 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 swallow thing, you are not going to be digesting your food. You're not going to be giving it the opportunity to do what it needs to do down the digestive tract. So you've got to chew. That gives saliva a chance to work as well and do what it needs to do for that food. And then you get down into the stomach, and the stomach needs to produce enough acid. So as we age and as we're under stress, we don't produce enough acid. So some people actually need to supplement with some stomach acid, some betaine hydrochloride. Hey Bonnie, good to see you there in Nebraska. And then number 2, you need to make sure you're not drinking fluids with your meals. If you're drinking fluids with your meals, you're diluting your stomach acid. And then you need to eat in a relaxed environment. And then you need to make sure that you're not combining proteins and starches together. If you are, neither one's going to digest like it needs to, and you are not going to be able to break down, and your stomach acid is not going to be at the right consistency. So that's in the stomach, and that's going to, if you fix those things, you're not going to have reflux, all these other issues. Then you get down into the small intestine, and that's where the gallbladder kicks out bile. So the liver makes bile, puts it into the gallbladder and releases it into the small intestine. And so when do you drink? You drink 30 minutes before or after your meals. Definitely 100% do not be drinking with your meals. If you need a little sip here or there, that's fine, but do not drink more than 2, 3, 4 ounces at a meal. So the gallbladder secretes that bile when you eat a fatty meal. So if you're having a fatty meal but your gallbladder is gone, or excuse me, if your gallbladder is gone, or if it's not working appropriately, then you need to potentially even supplement with some bile salts. But you've got to do everything you can to make sure that gallbladder is secreting like it's supposed to. Otherwise, you are not going to get that bile into the small intestine. You won't break down your fats. Anytime you eat a fatty meal, it's going to feel yucky. It's going to sit there. The other thing in the small intestine is that where the pancreas kicks out pancreatic enzymes. And so if you're not digesting like you need to, maybe you need some enzymes as well. It's also where we can get what's called leaky gut, where that gut lining is not going to be keeping things out like it needs to, and it may be that we're absorbing things too early into the bloodstream, and that could be foods, that could be toxins, that could be food allergens, bacteria, yeast, a lot of different things can get in if we have leaky gut. That's going to drive autoimmunity, all these things. So you need to kill off the bad stuff. You need to bring in good bacteria. You need to heal up that gut lining, glutamine, marshmallow root, aloe vera juice. A lot of different things are going to help with that lining. And then you get further down into the large intestine, and that's where most of our microbiome gets out of balance, and so you can have this high yeast state. Look at your tongue. Do you have a white coating on your tongue? Do you get lower bowel gas, bloating, and does it, flatulence come out sometimes? That is usually an indication that that microbiome, too much bad stuff, not enough good stuff, and we get out of balance there. So we know that that's going to be a major, major problem. And with immune system, with all types of different things, even with the brain, we know that the gut has a huge brain connection as well. So what do you got to do? Well, you've got to make sure, here's proper digestion. You're having a bowel movement 1 to 3 times a day. It looks like a peeled banana. It's a nice consistency, kind of that softness to it, like a banana, but not too soft, but a solid piece in there. And you need to be going 1 to 3 times a day. If you're going 3, 6, 7, 8 times a day and it's loose, that's not normal. If you're going 2, 3 days without going, that's not normal. If you're having reflux, indigestion, heartburn, gas, bloating, any type of sensation in the digestive tract, that is not normal. You need to be hungry and you eat. You need to go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom. But besides that, you do not need to be thinking about your digestive tract. If you are, something is not right and you need to dig deeper. So if that's the issue, then you have to go north to south. Brain, mouth, stomach, gallbladder, liver, small intestine, large intestine, all the way through, find out which of those systems is out of balance. And that's how you start fixing diverticulitis. That's how you start fixing Crohn's. That's how you start fixing irritable bowel syndrome, gastroparesis, all of these things. And it's a step-by-step approach, and you've got to go through each and every one of these systems to figure it out. So if you guys need help, if you're not getting the results in the digestive tract that you need, try some of these things. If that doesn't work, click the link down below. Schedule up with us. We can do a discovery call. Hit us up for a direct message. If you're on YouTube, you can send us a message through there as well. Whatever way, get a hold of us, and we would love to talk more through this process with you. If you want more information, check out our YouTube channel. We've got over 700 videos, all types of information just like this. Is it okay to take apple cider vinegar before a meal, or is it better to take afterwards? I would take it before. So take that shot right before the meal, and that's going to give you a little bit more stomach acid, and that may be helpful to break that down. You can do some lemon juice, or the apple cider vinegar could both be helpful. Great question, Marla. Okay, good to see you guys. If you got any questions at all, pop those down below, and I would love to talk to you guys about it. Take care.